Oh man, Kirby month really feels like it started now, huh? Hello everybody, Claire Fluffle here, back in action yet again to rank another Kirby game. Today we'll be talking about Kirby's Dream Buffet, yet another Kirby outing to add to the list of games that very randomly got announced and equally randomly got released. But was it randomly good, randomly bad, or somewhere in the middle? Let's find out what I think. Right off the bat, one of the most impressive things about Dream Buffet are the visuals. Not from a technical level. I know someone out there is going to comment about how the frame rate is not exactly 60 FPS or something like that, but the game shines where it matters most, which is style. The colors are super vibrant, the actual environments are filled to the brim with sugary sweets, Kirby and all of the other characters and accessories and all of the abilities pop, and I haven't mentioned the colors yet. This is such a pretty game to look at. The theming of the game, so to speak, is to help Kirby stuff their face for a celebration. In a more meta sense, we're celebrating 30 years of Kirby, but even in the context of the game, that being Kirby's about to chomp on a cake before the evil fork makes them small, and then they eat more cake, this is a game that's all about having a great time, having fun. Things like racing along ice cream, or replacing copy abilities with snacks, or duking it out on top of Magalore cookies. I don't trust these cookies. Everything here is just fun. But what is the game itself actually about? In short, you roll Kirby around with physics and try to eat the most raspberries. As is the case with all Kirby games, there's more to it than that, but on the surface, this is still a very fun game. In every round of Dream Buffet you play, you'll find yourself following the same pattern. You race, play a minigame, race again, you battle, in that order. You'd think that the game would get repetitive with this structure, and sure, there are people out there that think it does, but I find the basics enjoyable enough to where it never really gets tiring. Multiplayer certainly helps, since this is a spin-off it actually has online. As backwards as that sounds, it is. It doesn't change the fact that if this was offline only, the game would get old much faster. But it isn't, so whenever you want to play, you can just ask some friends to hop on and bam, you're gaming. Playing with randoms is a bit harder to set up now, given the game is on the older side, and games like these tend to lose activity, but I was still able to find some people when recording footage, so it's alive enough. Plus, one of the people that I did find wound up rage quitting on me, so you know the spirit of this game is still alive and well. But what makes the game itself fun? What goes on during any given game of Dream Buffet, and how does schmoving with Kirby feel during those games? We'll start with the races. These are a lot of fun, and due to the competitive nature of racing, I don't find myself getting tired of them. Every map has branching paths to take, and while you can find optimal routes, these are often harder. Not to mention, if you spend too much time eating strawberries, you may miss the big bonus at the end. 50 strawberries is kind of a lot. The smaller bonuses are nice too, but the big batch is just crazy. It isn't always worth going for the 50 raspberries though, since at the very end, the game does give out the Dream Buffet equivalent of bonus stars from Mario Party. You get 40 strawberries for a randomly selected batch of requirements. Who ate the most raspberries, who floated off stage the longest, who ate the most of a special fruit, etc. These are your main incentive to go off the beaten path and make races more than just a race to the finish. But you get 50 of these things for winning, right? If you can win twice, wouldn't that be okay? Like, yeah, sure, there are 3 bonuses given out at the end, but 40 times 3 is 120, while 50 times 2 is 100. Surely you can make up the 20 strawberries somewhere else, right? Wrong, because the final battle at the very end can be absolutely brutal for whoever's in first place if they aren't careful. See, when you knock someone out during the battles at the very end, you steal strawberries from them, while also being able to grab raspberries lying around on the field. What this results in is a beautiful mix of risk-reward and strategy. You play for bonuses during the races while still nabbing enough strawberries as they're the requirement for winning, then go on an all-out assault during the battles to steal as many raspberries as you can. And if it goes into overtime, oh, may I higher being than myself have mercy on your soul. It's super fun, and while I will admit it doesn't have the most staying power outside of multiplayer, it has online, so it's kind of a moot point. I'm not a fan of everything here, though. In particular, the minigame that you play in between the racing rounds it's fine. It's often serving as a way to size up before the second race, but they just feel so inconsequential. There's so much strategy and on-the-fly decision-making during the races, and battles are just so hectic and insane as you try to rob as many strawberries as you can while avoiding all of the craziness around you. But on the flip side, the short minigames just feel like time wasters. 9 times out of 10, I really don't feel like they make much of a difference at all. The big issue here, though, is that everything that I've said really is all that the game has to offer. The multiplayer element definitely helps it from getting old, but this game sorely lacks in one of the most important elements to a game of this style: variety. Copy abilities help, different tracks help, online helps, but all these do are chip away at a problem that can't really be chipped. I think the game is fun, more fun than most others of its kind due to a variety of factors that I've already explained, but you'll get the most out of racing and battling on a surface casual level at least in only 2 or 3 rounds. With this repetition in mind, it really stinks that they brought back the unlock system from Kirby Fighters 2. I already didn't like it there, but at least that had more content, as well as a story mode that did some of the heavy lifting for you. Here, you have the online bonus, and that's basically all you get. There aren't as many wastes of unlocks as there are in Fighters 2. You get music, outfits, and new tracks, which are all great to get, but the system still isn't ideal. Lastly, this isn't a Dream Buffet thing, this is just a me thing, but I don't know, I think they're raspberries, but I keep calling them strawberries. I don't know why I do this, but it's so frustrating. If you are listening to this video and you want to scream at me that it's one or the other, that's totally fine. Leave it in the comments. Please also ring the notification bell after subscribing and give the video a like to help me out. I need to be able to tell the difference between these two. Also, you could super consider checking out my Patreon to help me out financially. I would very much appreciate that. As I do with my head-patting Fluffle fans, Biohazard, Dips Fiora, and Miss K says Pride was a riot less than 3. Thank you all so much. I love you. So, okay, all in all, where do I find myself ranking Kirby's Dream Buffet? I can't talk about the music since I don't want to spoil anything for the upcoming Kirby month. Learn more with the video I posted yesterday. But I do love the soundtrack, and I want to talk about how much I like Dream Buffet because the ranking will seem kind of weird otherwise. No, who knows, maybe it won't and I'm just overthinking this, but I'm gonna put it right below Kirby 64 and right above Kirby Star Allies, which currently puts it at 19th. I'm pretty middle of the pack by Kirby standards, but that's okay. The game is fun, I have fun playing it, and that's all we need sometimes. Oh, but if there is one other thing that I want to talk about, the customization, super neat. I love mixing and matching colors and outfits and all that jazz. Speaking of jazz, that's music. I'm so partial to blue that I stick to the kind color, as I'm sure you've noticed, but it's worth playing around with multiple just to pick out your favorite. Decorating the cake is also nice, especially since you can put Parasol Kirby on it. I'll never forget about you, my love.